James Gunn just might be done with DC in 2027. It all comes through a leaked contract extension, only 1 year. Perhaps because of a fear that the Ellisons, Paramount Skydance, just might fire James Gunn over a DCU that's already coming undone. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking the news as we do so often. It is a pleasure, it is a joy to have you joined with us today. Click the like button. If we have not yet earned your subscription, we're working on it. And folks, let's dive in. The latest, James Gunn, only signed now to DC with Warner Brothers for another 2 years. Well, folks, there's a heck of a story that's hidden inside of CBR.com by Patrick Walker. Can't wait to bring it to you. James Gunn's future DCU plans get clarified amid Netflix Warner Brothers shakeup. Of course, Patrick has not been watching the channel and didn't know that Netflix was not going to win this thing. If he'd watched the channel, he'd have known it. But hey, it's okay. Patrick gives us something that we didn't know. And so, you know what? It's like a friendly handshake. Patrick, we gave you good. You're going to give us something that nobody's reporting on. Nobody's noticing this, but it may give us some indication that James Gunn's day at DC could be on the way out. James Gunn and the DCU are here to stay, it seems. So says the first paragraph, but hang tight. The massive blockbuster news regarding Netflix's purchase of Warner Brothers Discovery turned Hollywood on its ear on Friday and immediately created a firestorm of speculation regarding the future of Gunn and his cohort, Peter Safran, atop DC Studios, and of course, the future of a DCU that just recently in summer 2025, that's an odd way to phrase whatever this is, did something with the successful release of Gunn Superman starring David Cornsweet as the boy in blue. All right, that's a big paragraph. Now we got Supergirl coming out. Okay, cool. Well, looky here, ladies and gentlemen. You ready for this? But while many wonder about the future of Gunn and Safran, it turns out that they've now received extensions on their existing contracts. Boy, good job. You got extensions. That's wonderful. Because these guys had contracts through 2026. So we were beginning to wonder. Let's see what distant future they have. Lauren, go ahead.
All of this is being misread. It does not mean that they're going to be working longer. It means that they now have fabulous flowing hair.
Per Bloomberg, both executives have been extended. Is that hair extensions, Lauren? Per Bloomberg, both executives have been extended through 2027. Now, wait a minute. Hang on a second. Here's a quote for you. The work of James and Peter, their creative vision, it's compelling and a great economic return. There's no storytelling content that we have that provides a bigger palette than DC, and there's nobody around right now who can tell these stories with the same imagination and excitement. Blah, 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 blah. Talks about a concrete... Okay, that's it? That's it? So they're going to be there through Superman, Man of Tomorrow, slated for 2027. They're going to be there through that movie, and that's it? They got a 1-year extension, and we're talking about they're there forever? Folks, you know what's really going on with this article? When do we know that either Netflix or Paramount Skydance is going to win this thing and own the company? Probably 2027. So these guys got a 1-year extension, and that's it? Why did they get a 1-year extension? Because whoever is going to own this now has just been given the ability to do whatever they want to do with the DCU. Folks, listen to me. They're reporting this one way, but it's the total opposite. If these guys were going to get to stay, then what they could have done, Zaslav could have done this. He could have talked to his Netflix buddies that he thought were going to own them, and he could have said, listen, we want to go ahead and give them job security, so we're going to do the thing through 2030. We got to get more movies going, all this. They didn't do that. Through 2027. That means that essentially they got a 1-year extension, that's it, and whoever owns this company gets to do whatever they want. There's not going to be any poison pill in this. Nobody has to pay any kind of separation. Nobody has to pay severance. Nobody has to pay, a go-away fee. They're done in 2 years. And it's up to the Ellisons now. Paramount Skydance almost certainly going to buy this. The Ellisons get to decide whether James Gunn stays with the DCU. Lauren, your thoughts on it?
Well, you know who's celebrating about this news.
Who's that?
Zack Snyder.
Oh,
Love of God. Don't
oh Marvin. I'm so sorry, Marvin.
That's why I did it. I just wanted to see what he was going to do.
Idiotic, ridiculous. I'm trying to keep my language clean because it's a family show. The most idiotic thing I've ever seen. Even if James Gunn is shown the door, and I don't think that's going to happen, why would the one person that you wouldn't hand it back to is the one guy that already failed at doing this?
Hey, Lauren's like, I did it to him. I made him do it. Hey, Marvin, I got a question for you, though, because this came up recently. And, the fact that they're getting a 1-year extension of their contracts, I think actually proves something completely different than what's being reported. But we've had some reporting coming out that perhaps what's happening right now kind of cancels any opportunity for the Snyderverse to ever return. Can you walk us through why that is in the latest contractual negotiations going on?
I'm sorry. Basically people are saying it's not coming back because they've pretty much reaffirmed their backing James Gunn. I mean, at the end of the day, so right now they can't move to.
That's it. You got it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got what you're going with. Yeah, they can't move to actually put this in place because they can't actually communicate with Netflix or Paramount in an official capacity yet because the sale is not approved. So it's actually illegal for them to plan ahead of 2027 right now.
Right. And I don't want to...
if they were to tell James Gunn, like, buckle up or we're going to sign you to this deal or whatever, that's not legal. They can't do that.
Yeah, and I don't want to say too much that would give away things, but I'll just say that we've heard from inside Warner Brothers that there's a total kibosh on that right now because they can't work with anybody on anything that is not explicitly approved, lest they mess with the sale to either Netflix or to Paramount Skydance. Yep. Nothing can happen without almost going all the way to the top. So the Snyderverse is done.
Yeah, they have to move forward and all systems go for what they're already doing, which is the DCU. And also, the DCU has had one outing. And depending on, which Forbes article you want to cite that day, it was either highly successful or it lost money because Forbes has contradicted itself repeatedly on this situation. They're not going to end this after one outing. We're going to see how Supergirl does. We're going to see how Man of Tomorrow does. The best thing that could happen is James Gunn gets oversight. James Gunn gets somebody telling him no, because that's what Peacemaker showed us, that's what James Gunn needs.
Well, here's the question to Wiz. If we're getting this a 1-year extension to 2027, which is the last year that Superman is going to be there, that's the last theatrical release, so it's just a contract extension through that. If the Ellisons come in, if James Gunn has had any discussions about he would rather be with Netflix, I think he's out. I think he's toast. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting situation. It could play out in 1,000 different ways. But firstly, that Snyderverse thing, it will be countless years in between when the last Snyderverse movie came out. That's number one. And also, the last few movies did not make money. They were big problems at the box office. People have forgotten about the Snyderverse. That's not coming back. The Gunverse now, it had a rocky start. And everything with Peacemaker, like Marvin was just referencing, that was hard to get through. And it ends on a terrible cliffhanger. And I think a lot of people aren't coming back to whatever that is. It's very hard for each of these entries to be, we're coming back next time. We're coming back next time. You'll get more next time. And next time never comes because it's always going to be years after years after years later. All going to just 2 Supermans is all we were able to really get. Lanterns is getting moved around again. Supergirl, nobody's excited for this movie. And there is really such little excitement for anything James Gunn has.
How much damage did Peacemaker do, Wiz? How much damage did Peacemaker season 2 do to all of this?
People would have had to watch it.
Nobody watched it. So that's the damage is apathy is here. I keep saying 50% of the audience loved Superman 25. 50% of the audience didn't care for it or hated it outright. That's not good. And then you have a big factor of people didn't see it at all, and they don't care to ever watch it. They're just done with superhero stuff. Peacemaker didn't help that at all, because the handful of people that did watch it, again, a lot of people didn't like it, and only a handful of people actually loved it. And this is not good.
The people that liked it, even they turned on the finale.
Yeah, the finale was bad. That was a bad finale, but
one of the worst episodes of TV I've ever seen. It was strikingly horrible.
The one thing I hope the Ellisons learn, especially if they're relaunching Star Trek, if they're doing more movies, if they're going to continue with whatever DC is whenever they acquire it, you got to satisfy people with the thing that they're watching. If it's a movie and they pay for admission, it's got to be a satisfying movie and on its own. A show needs to be satisfying on its own. No more of this setup nonsense. We're sick of it. The audience is done and they're bored.
Yep, and before you get rid of Gunn, the more pressing thing is get rid of Kurtzman from Paramount, and they have not done that yet.
They'll get to it. But I would like to suggest that a 1-year extension is what is known in the stock market world as a stop loss. It is not. Yes. He's going to keep working for even the next year. It's how much do we have to pay him to go away? And let's put a limit on that, whether we're Netflix or we're Paramount. And that's what they did.
Well, I think a 1-year extension is basically to say, hey, you're here till the new boss comes. And they could have gone longer. They could have said, you're getting a 5-year contract extension and the next people can deal with it. They didn't do that.
I think that there's something else here. There was an existing Snyderverse because you had several movies there. You don't have a Gunnverse. You've got one movie, you've got another one coming out, and you've got a couple TV shows that barely any people watched. It's not like you've got this huge commitment to anything. You could take the cast of Gunn Superman, have a change in tone, and continue that on with the DC universe, not necessarily with James Gunn there. I don't think Gunn will hang around if someone is put over top of him, because he's a control freak. He wants this to be James Gunn, James Gunn's DC universe, and he can't slap his name all over everything if he's not in charge of it. So somebody else could easily come along with this. I don't think there's any irreparable damage that was done with Gunn Superman that couldn't be adjusted and tweaked and with some sequels and things and build out this universe the way it should be. And at this point, we have enough information about what worked with Marvel, what did not work with Marvel, and what did and did not work with DC, that somebody should just put out those landmines and say, just avoid these things, and you probably have a pretty decent movie.
The dumbest move that they made, Andy, is the fact that the follow-up to Superman is Supergirl and not Batman.
Yeah.
Batman should have been made a priority. Batman was not made a priority, and for the life of me, I have no idea why.
Batman too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like with the Brave and the Bold, like they have made no forward momentum on the Brave and the Bold. We don't even know if Andy Muschietti is still directing it. James Gunn insists he is, but pretty much everyone says he's not. So,
James Gunn doesn't know what to do with
Batman's out at once. They just can't do it.
Yeah, and James Gunn doesn't know what to do with Batman because that's a character that, even more than Superman, he doesn't connect with that. He loves oddball characters that he can be quirky and fun with. Yeah, Batman's not fun.
He needs to hand that off to somebody else and let them handle it and not touch it.
I think if they were smart, disconnected from the Snyderverse, if they were smart, they would offer Ben Affleck his Batman movie that he wanted to make and kind of build around that, because there's somebody who gets the character.
Was the Ben Affleck Jeff Johns Batman movie was the one thing that I wanted to see from the Snyderverse that we didn't get. Well, that and The Rock actually being in a Shazam movie as Black Adam instead of just doing his own thing and tanking the entire thing.
Well,
that was rough.
Tanking the entire thing just might be what Paramount Skydance, the Ellisons, do to James Gunn. Folks, we'll keep an eye on it, but in hindsight, maybe Gunn shouldn't have gone after conservatives with Peacemaker Season 2. Might not go over so well with his new landlords, his new overseers, the Ellisons. And folks, we have come to the end yet again. Another video of excellence in the can. What a joy it has been to share time with you. We hope you enjoyed it as well. If so, consider clicking that like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. And as always, drop a comment down below. A mind is a terrible thing to waste, so waste not yours. Join a community dialogue today, just on down below. Folks, we are going to say farewell for now, but we will see you back. 4 is more, and that's how many videos we put out every single day here on the Pro Channel. Hope you enjoy them all. Until the next time, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.